So I promise I'm not being funny when I do this. But when we look at a number line, it's important for us to know that a number line can be either horizontal or vertical. Okay? West to east or north to south. Okay? Number lines can appear in any way. Tick mark in our notes is important that we know that a number's place on a number line tells its value. Because we're looking at that number's distance from zero. So yesterday you could have seen in some of your book work, you could have seen some practice with negative numbers. And I want to make sure we understand the value of a negative number today. So we're going to build a number line. On one side, I'm going to do my colors normally. My positive numbers will always go to the right of the zero. My negative numbers, I'm always going to write them in red or a color close to red. Will always go to the left of my zero. I'll give you a second to get this down. If you'd like to have colors out, you definitely may. That number line doesn't have to be huge. Of course, mine is huge because I want everyone to be able to see it. So not only can that number line there be horizontal, we're going to draw one that can be vertical as well. Guys, can I get rid of the horizontal line yet? If you need these notes, come see me, please. It can also be a vertical number line. And this one, I always thought when I was your age was much easier to understand. Of course, anything below zero is going to be less valuable. Sorry, got a tickle in my throat. Hopefully that's gone. And anything above zero is going to have more value. The more I go up, of course, the heavier that number becomes. Okay, and so today we're going to start looking at positive and negative numbers in real world situations. There's going to be words that we associate with a positive integer, and there are going to be words that we associate with a negative integer. Earned, gained, add, of course. So what would be some words that we would associate with negative then? Yeah. Loss. Yes, sir. Descend. I can tell somebody watched that lesson yesterday. Oh, I forgot ascend here. In the Bible, it says Jesus ascended into the heavens. He went up. Okay. Loss, gain, or loss, descend, deduct, decrease. Where would increase go? Good job, guys. Yes, ma'am. What? Devalue? Oh, yeah. Yeah, so you make me throw another one in there, accrue. To accrue value is to gain value. So houses that aren't mobile homes, so a normal house that isn't a trailer or a mobile home gains value over time. It becomes more valuable. Okay? Cars, mobile homes, boats become less valuable the longer we have them. Okay? They lose value over time. So you're going to be learning, and this is probably the biggest part of 7th grade math. We're going to start learning the integer rules here. So how do we, and that's actually going to be our next question in our notes. I'm moving this up a little bit, guys. How do we add, subtract, multiply, and divide positive and negative numbers? Question mark, not a period. Whenever I have a positive number plus a positive number, I'm going to get a positive number. Duh. 1 plus 2 equals 3. But when I have a positive number, 1, plus a negative number, if I have a positive number plus a negative number, depending on the value, I could get a positive or a negative number. Let's see that. If I have 1 plus negative 2, I have to look at, I'll give you a second to write that down. I have to look at my number line here. So 1 is right here. If I'm adding negative 2, am I going down on this number line or going up? Negative 2, is that down or up from negative 1? So I'm jumping down 1, 2 places. So a positive 1 minus a negative 2, or plus a negative 2, I'll move it up, sorry, is going to be negative 1. We're going to look at what that looks like in the real world today. So I want to show you something, and I've already sent you the link in Schoology, but you don't want to touch your laptops yet. You're going to be able to play with this today. You're going to be able to play with this today. You're going to go into your Schoology folder. In our yellow folder for this week. And Ms. Neville there's the recorded lesson that introduces this. But there's a link here that you could go to where you're going to be able to look at a PhET simulation, where you're going to be able to see in real life what life looks like on a number line. So there's some different little things down here that we could play with. And I want to play with the money one because I want to show this to you. Right now, this piggy bank has how much money in it? None. I just said I had $1. 1 plus negative 2. Am I moving this way or this way? Yeah, I'm moving to the left 2 places. 1, 2. So now I have negative 1. I owe somebody $1. So what that looks like is I had $1 in my pocket. I went to McDonald's and spent $2 with my debit card. And now in the bank, I owe the bank how much money? $1. I had one, but then I still owe them another. Okay? So looking at that is just like looking at, instead of saying 1 plus -2, I could say 1 minus 2. Same thing. I could take away that plus sign and do a -2, and that would be -1. So we're going to be playing with that today. If you've went mastery, in other words, if you've made an 80 or above on the assignments from last week in Schoology, or if you've completed them and went 80 or above, you're going to be moving on to making a PhET simulation story. If you have not made that 80 or above, you and Miss Neville will be working together today in small groups. Some of you will be making your first attempt on those assignments, okay? So I can see where you are. All right, so let's go ahead. I'm going to stop